Okay, I did a video a while back on the iPhone 5S proclaiming it the best cell phone ever made, and it is by far. Android phones are junk in comparison. Now, of course, all the rumors are flying about the iPhone 6, and one thing I can guarantee is it will be better than any Android phone out there, and by a wide margin. And the rumors are that it's going to come in two different sizes. This is an image search that you see all these images. And here's let me pull this one up. There's a version that would be obviously a relatively large phone. And then pull this one up here. You can see how gorgeous the design is. Now, one thing I don't like about this design is it looks like you're not going to be able to sit it up on its end, like set it on a table if you're watching a video or something. You'll have to prop it against something. So that's kind of a downside, but they've gone so thin with the phone that even if it was flat on the sides, it probably still wouldn't sit up. So it's always a trade-off. When you make the phone bigger, if you make it thinner, that way you can reach your hands around it and still navigate one-handed, hopefully. And I'm really a fan of the size of the current iPhone. I don't really want a bigger phone, to tell you the truth. But hey, if it's going bigger, it's going bigger, and we're just going to have to roll with the flow. Of course, if there's two sizes, you'll be able to choose the super large or the not so large. Here's a mock-up here showing sizes. But I'll tell you what, the big difference, the reason that iPhones are so good, and by the way, there's several rumor sites you can check out. Check out Apple Insider, and here they've got a rumor about haptic feedback. That's when you touch the screen and it like kind of buzzes a little bit, so you get a little feedback that you've actually done what you think you did. And so there's a rumor that they're going to come out with a special vibrating motor that is more efficient and that will allow to do that without significant battery life issues. There's already a vibrator in the phone, of course, for when you want your ringer off and you want the vibration, but this would be a different vibration motor, if you will, that would make that happen. That would be another breakthrough. And this is what Apple does, is when they do things, they just do it better than everybody else. I mean, everybody else tries to do a lot of these things. By the way, here's Mac Rumors. This is another site where you can kind of keep an eye on what we expect to see. And right here we got a nice size comparison, and notice how it just goes right on up through the various sizes of the devices. There's the 5S, there's the iPhone 6, which looks like the 4.7 inch really is not going to be terribly big. I mean, it looks like it will be, especially with it being thinner, you'll probably still be able to operate that one-handed. That might be the sweet spot for me, because I carry the phone all the time on my hip, and I don't want something really large getting in the way and so forth. Then, of course, people who want a big one, there's a 5.5 inch. And again, but what Apple does is when they execute on these things, they do these things right. And they have so much buying power because they make so many of these phones. No other phone comes close, like the iPhone 6. Even though there's two sizes, they'll probably sell 25 or 30 million of each size in the first quarter. And no Android phone ever sells that well for one particular phone. And the advantage here is all the phones are the same, even though they're going to have two models. The iPhone 6 4.7 inch will be made for at least a year in that body style, probably two. Same thing with the 5.5 inch. So all the aftermarket manufacturers can make cases, can make accessories, all kinds of things, because they know what the size and shape is going to be. Android, they change their phones all the time, and they move little things around, and that just screws everything up. And because there's so many models, it's so fragmented, nobody wants to make any accessories for them. Nobody wants to write apps for them. It's just a bag of hurt. It's a mess. And plus, the quality of the hardware doesn't even compare. If you compare the two, it's really junk. The Android phones that are out there, they're plasticky. They're not well made. Again, Apple's buying power, they're able to go to a manufacturer of parts and say, hey, I want 50 million of these things. How much are you going to charge me? And an Android manufacturer might go to them and say, you know, I want 10,000 or 20,000 or whatever. I mean, they're not even going to answer the phone for them, right? So it's that buying power, and it's the fact that they make the same phone for so long, and they make so many units, and they do the software and the hardware, so we know that everything's going to work in harmony. That's another reason why they're so much better. So it's not even close. Don't listen to these Android fanboys that talk about how great Android is and how you can customize it. Come on, I don't want to customize it. If I buy a car, for example, if I buy a Lexus, I trust them to build a Lexus and do it right. I'm not going to change the wheels and tires. I'm not going to jack it up. I'm not going to pull out the stereo system out of the dash and throw some piece of junk in there. I buy a high quality product, I'm going to use it the way it's designed. Those people are smarter than me. They know what the heck they're doing. I don't want to customize it. And I don't want to have to pull a battery out and change a battery. Are you kidding me? I'm going to pull a plasticky back off and change a freaking battery? No way. My phone lasts all day, no problem. I top it off when I'm in the car. I have a charger in the car. I just plug it in when I'm in the car. No big deal. I have no problem with battery life, so that argument is ridiculous. The other argument that you need a SD card to expand the memory. The rumor is you're going to be able to buy a 128 gig iPhone. Right now you can buy a 64 gig. That's plenty for me. I just buy the 64 gig. I've got plenty of storage. I don't have to worry about it. It's another moving part that I don't have to worry about, pulling an SD card in and out and all that nonsense. That's just junky. So if you want to do it right, if you want the best, buy an iPhone 6 when they come out. Buy the iPhone 5S right now. It's a great phone. It'll be a oh boy, excuse me. It'll be a great phone for years. So buy the best. You use these phones all the time. They're with you. They're a tool. Don't skimp. Don't buy that lousy, cheap Android junk. Buy the right phone. Buy an iPhone, and you will be happy. Thanks for watching, and share your comments down below.